Hello everyone. In this video, I am going to explain you about PPP with PAP and how to implement it on Cisco Packet Tracer. PPP is point-to-point protocol, which is generally encapsulated in WAN. So it is an extension of SDLC with, with some authentications. So PPP can be implemented in two ways, PAP and SAP. So first we'll go with PAP. PAP is password authentication protocol. It's simplest authentication method where the other name for it is two-way handshake. It is implemented among two routers. For example, they exchange their passwords initially, and when the data is transferred or when they are trying to communicate with each other, they were authenticated. Authentication is done with username and password. So let's take two routers and try to create it on Cisco Packet Tracer. So I'll consider two routers. Now I'm trying to connect them with a serial DCI. There is no serial connection, so click on the router, go to the physical, and then turn off the router. Then add this. This is NIM 2T, which has some serial ports. Then turn on the router. So please wait until the router is on. And once if it is done, then close this. Now do it for other router. Turn off the router and then turn on the router. See, it's restarting. So once if it is done, uh, then you need to assign an IP address, establish a connection, and then see establish the connection by using serial DCE. So you can see serial is available now. Now the physical connections are done. So now click on router 0, name it like router 1, and the display name is R1, and the host name is also R1. Now click on serial 010, turn on this port, and the clock rate should be 64 because this router will be treated as DCE for data communication terminal. Uh, and its clock rate should be 64. DCE stands for data communication elements. Then the its IP, let's take it's in the same two routers are on the same network, say like 192.168.11. Say for example, this is 2, and please set its separate mask. Then do the same for router 1, rename display name as R2 and the host name as R2. Go to serial, turn on this. Don't do any changes for its clock rate. So clock rate will automatically change based on the DCE, the data will be received from DCE. So it will be uh, dealing with DCE. So now this router 2 will act as DTE, data terminal element, which will be synchronizing or trying to deal with DEC. Now the IP address 192.168.11.3. Now if it is done, now it's time to set PPP, go to command line interface. Uh, so for R1 configuration, you need to give an username for a router 1. Username of router 1 is say R1 and it should have a password. Password is say like Cisco. Now go to the serial connection, then it should be encapsulated with PPP and the state is down, so no SH, no shutdown. Then you have to set PPP authentication PAP. Now this is done, PPP PAP. Then you have to uh, type send username, say like R2. This is the one which is like exchanging the messages at before transmitting the data or any packets. So now R1 is looking an authentication for the messages from R2. So it is checking R2. Router 2 is the name of the other router and the password. Its password is Cisco, which we have been set. We need to set it. Now, once if it is done, now this side or one side you have done enough. Now go to R2 side and do the same. Right here, you need to set in R2 configuration. You need to set username and password. Username is R2 router 2 and password for it. Password is Cisco. And now for serial, you have to, yeah, for serial interface, you need to encapsulate PPP. PPP should be authenticated with PAP, and then you need to set PAP sent password, sent username. So it's R2 in this case, and its password is Cisco. Okay, so now this is done. Now close this. Now go to R1's command line interface, and here exit. Now you are at a router directly, and from router ping the other system, other router whose IP address is say like 192.168.11.3. So when the connections are under process, so this generally takes an error, or generally it's showing an error. It's trying to send a 5, but the success rate is 0 out of 5. So the connections are ongoing. So it is taking some time for transmission. So you can debug it or try to send it like this. And See, it's failed. Maybe the connections are still under progress. The simulator, uh, yeah, it is sending successfully, but in progress. It's okay. Let me come to the real and check it once again. So open R1 and please ping. Our status is app interface. Yeah, on the interface serial zero, up down change to. Let's try and yeah. So now see, just only the connections setting up is just taking time. Now it's successful. See, success rate is 100%. I pinged it multiple times, so I got it. So, this is because the connections are under establishing. It's very slow. Once the connections are done, now the ping is successful, 100%. Five things uses five or sent, five or reach. So that's it about how to create PPP with PAP. Hope you understood it. Thanks for watching.